So you don't have to solve all the problems if you don't want to. You can choose. You can ask me questions, or you can change your mind about doing this interview at any time. If you don't want to do it, you just have to let me know. Okay? Okay. You ready to start?
So how many would you have?
Great.
What do you want? Just how you're thinking about that.
So here's our first thing. I'm going to pour these cubes out on the table. Some of them stuck together in my bag, so I'm going to take them apart.
So next up, I'm going to read you some story problems.
And the first thing I want you to do
You can solve them mentally.
is I'd like you to tell me how many blue cubes.
Or you can use the marker. But I also have some other material over here on that you can use. We also have some of the blue-based blocks if you'd like to use those. But you don't have to use any of them. You can just use your brain, or you can write down whatever makes sense to you. All right, so the first problem. It reads, your teacher has 4 new boxes of markers. There are 10 markers in each box. How many new markers does she have?
4, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Nice. Okay.
1, 32,
Miguel,
34.
before you do anything else,
There's
please
4
can
new
I
boxes,
ask you another
and there are
question?
10 in each box.
Can you write down the number 34 on this paper? Oops. You can just scratch it out and write it over here. That's fine.
Can you tell me the story about your teacher having markers? What's the story?
Okay. So, does this part of the 34 have anything to do with the number of cubes?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
So I counted by 5s with the cubes, and since I didn't have one
I'm
more,
gonna tell you a little bit more.
there
about
was
this
4
story
in
to
the group,
make
and
sure
I didn't
that you
have one more to add to it. So I
your
just
teacher
added
has
those
these
to
4
30.
boxes.
Okay. Can you show me the part that would be that 4 part?
No, they come in boxes. So
This would be the 4.
yeah. So when
Okay.
she
And
opens
this would
the
be the
box,
30.
there are 10
Oh, so
markers
that's-
inside.
So that was my
Every
next
box
question,
has 10
is
markers
if that
inside.
3 has anything to do with it. So tell me your thinking about that.
So from there,
She got 4 more
after
markers.
I counted all of these into
Are you ready for
5s.
another story?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's put all these
After I
back.
put all of
And you
them
might
into
decide to
5,
use them
I
again, or you
double
might decide
checked
to
that
use
I had
something else.
5 in each
Okay.
group and that I was counting all 5 correctly. So then, after I had these 4s left, I
Okay, you
just
ready for your next story?
added
Okay, here it
these,
is.
all of this together, and then added
Your
this.
teacher.
And what
has
does that have to do with
30
the 3?
pretzels,
Tell me about
and she wants to
what
put
does
the
this 3
pretzels
have to
in
do with the
snack
cubes? Can you explain it to
bags.
me maybe again,
So
or
there are 10 in each.
tell me a little more
Just
about
how
it?
you did that. Thank you,
How
Julie.
many snack bags
It's a
can she
different
make?
problem for you now. She says, big bag of pretzels. Here's the big bags of pretzels. So this one says your teacher has 30 pretzels. She wants to put the pretzels in snack bags, smaller bags, so that there are 10 in each bag. Okay, so she wants to put 10 in each bag.
You're not sure?
Snack bags.
Okay, that's okay. I think you said something in the beginning that I kind of understood that you were kind of saying that this is like the 30.
I can read the
Maybe
problem
that has
to you again.
something to do with that. That's kind of what she said at the start. Okay, I'm just going to scoot these over. I'm going to turn the paper over. We're going to keep the marker handy, but we're going to do a kind of a similar thing. You can just set it down right there.
10 pretzels in each bag. The question
All right.
is, how many snack bags can she make?
So now we're going to do the orange cubes task. It's
So
similar.
Can you tell me the story?
but a
about
little
pretending
different.
About your teacher having pretzels?
What I'd like you to do first is
What do you
put
remember
10
about
cubes
the
in that
story?
cup, 10 orange cubes in that cup.
Do you want me to tell you the story again? Do you remember it? Okay, what do you remember about the story?
Okay, and put 10 cubes in that cup.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's check them.
Okay.
I maybe lost some cubes. Let's see.
So let's go ahead and
Let's see if
flip those
they're.
back.
Let's just do a quick check.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
And we have, and these two.
Okay, so let's put 10 in this cup.
Want to put these back in on that lid? Okay. So we have 1, I have some
2, 3,
cards
4, 5,
right
6,
here.
7, 8,
And on these
Okay, so that
cards,
one was definitely
there are going
10.
to be some little squares.
Okay, so put those cubes, put these
So
cubes
some
down
of the
here.
squares are touching,
All right.
and some of the squares are not.
So now my question
You
for
see
you
that?
is, can you tell me how many orange cubes there are, including the ones in the
See some
cups
that are
and the ones
touching?
out of the cups?
On there's a lot of cubes that you touch. Okay, can you find out how many cubes are touching on this?
How did you decide 26?
Okay, and then you saw that there was 3
Because
bags.
if
Do you know
there's
that for
Just how you
sure?
did that.
10
Yeah?
cubes in this cup and 10 cubes in this cup, I already know that 10 plus 10 is 20.
Okay.
So then, after I have that, I know that 20 plus these 6 ones is 26.
Got it. Okay, can you write down that number of cubes that you just said?
How'd you know that?
And we want to still count these.
Can you just tell me? Can you just tell me?
Okay, now I'm going to ask you the same questions I asked you before. Can you tell me if this part has anything to do with the number of orange cubes?
So,
I see. So how many small
if
squares are on this
we
whole
didn't
card?
have these regular
And how did you get 13?
6 cubes, this would just be regular 20.
Okay.
I see. Just take it.
And so, if you were trying to make the number 26, and you didn't have these 6 cubes,
And that would be
then you
13.
wouldn't be able to get the number
Okay, so you
26.
just saw there was 40.
So
and you knew
are
there was
these
4.
this part?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so go ahead and put those
Now
back.
tell me, does this 2 have anything to do with your 26 cubes?
On this card.
This
Small
26
squares on this
cubes
card.
also has to do something with this. Because if you just
Okay,
took
so
away
I'm gonna take
these
this card
10
and
cubes,
have
then
some
it would
other cards
only
for
be
you to try
16.
to
And then you would need 10 more cubes to get to 26.
Okay.
And
How many
if you only
little
have
card- little
16,
cubes on this card?
then you would have to add 10 more. But if you didn't have any more, then
Excellent.
you can't make
Exactly
26.
how
So
you
where
did
is
that.
this 2 in your cubes?
Right here.
Those 2 cups?
Okay.
Got it.
Can we do another one? All right, you go
All
put
right.
those back.
And you know what? You just said something that I already know what you're going to do for my next question, but I'm going to ask it
What?
anyway. You just counted 26 cubes. Can you change it
Yeah,
to
sometimes they're
16
going to be
cubes?
placed in
Okay.
different ways. Sometimes they might be spread apart, or sometimes they might be together. Okay.
Okay. I see exactly what you did.
I don't know. If it
Can
might
you
be
tell me how you knew
that
that you
would be
could just take
helpful
one
for you.
cup
You'll have to
away?
see. You ready for another
Because
card? Okay.
if you have
How many little
26,
squares on this card?
then if you know that each cup has 10, then if you know that 20 plus 10 is only
50 on
10,
the
and
And
you're still going to have 6 more cubes, and 10 plus 6, I already know that it's
You went back and
16.
said 10.
So the 10 plus 6 is the 16. Got it.
And then what?
All right. I'm going to move this one over here. Okay. So this is a pretending task. So now you have 16 orange cubes, right? And I want you to pretend that I give you 25 more cubes. How many cubes would you have then? So you have your 16, and I want to know how many you think you'd have if I gave you 25.
16. Okay, so.
Okay, how did you get the 22?
Okay, so.
So you said 10, you went 11, 12, 13, like that?
It's going to be 11, so I'm just going to have to put 1 there, so
I got it.
that's
I got
going
it.
to
That's great to
be
go. Okay.
41.
Okay, I see exactly what you did. That was really nice thinking. Valerie, what we're going to do next is before we do the next part, we're going to clean up these parts. Do you want to clean up the orange or the blue? Okay. So for this next part, I'm going to ask you to solve some story problems.
And how did you know 22?
And if you want, you can solve them mentally with just your head, with just your brain, or you can use your fingers. If you use your fingers, it would be great if you put them on top of the table so the camera can see. Or you can use any of the tools that I brought to help you. And I brought all sorts of things.
I
So
noticed that used
And I
this
still want you to tell me how many
stick,
squares,
and it
but
was like
these squares
this.
are small in this.
So for
And then
some,
all these little
these
cubes,
10 blocks,
you
I
put,
think you
Small
put
squares.
some of them in a
And we'll
group,
just-
but you kept these two separate. Why?
Okay, so I think I see what
Those
Why did
now-
you push these together but not those?
So you can use base 10 blocks. Yeah, you probably only, yeah, you can just leave them like that. You can use the paper and the markers if you want.
It's really interesting how you do that.
today.
I have snap cubes that are loose, like the ones we've been using, and I also have some that are in sticks. Okay? So you can use any of this stuff or you can use none of it. It's up to you. That make sense?
Why did you push all of these?
All right. And so,
Why did you
Valerie,
push
I'm
them
going to read
together?
each story problem
Those ones. Why did
out
you
loud to
push
you,
them
and I have it
together?
on a card. I don't want you to write on the card. If you want to write on something, just grab a piece of paper, okay? And if you want me to read it again, I'll read it as many times as you want. You just ask me, okay? And are you ready for the first one? Okay, here's the first one. Your teacher has 4 new boxes of markers. Have you ever bought markers in a box? Yeah. So there are 10 markers in each box. And my question is, how many new markers does she have?
Oh, I see.
Oh, I
Okay, I
know.
understand why you did that. Awesome. Can we do another card? Okay.
She has 40 boxes. 40 markers.
40 markers? How did you figure out 40 markers?
Because since I know that 10 plus 10 is 20, and
Let's push this
if
aside and
I
see if you're
add
ready to use
another
this or not.
2
Okay.
to the 20, that's 20 and 20.
ready for another one?
And I automatically know that 20 plus 20 is 40.
Oh, many
so she
little squares on
altogether
the
has
card.
40 markers.
Valerie, that was a really nice explanation. Thank you. Okay, you ready for the next
Miguel,
one?
before you
I'm going to
use
ask you a
those,
problem that's really
Can you just
similar,
look
but
at
it has
this
a little bit
card
bigger
and
number.
figure
Okay?
out how many are on
So here's the new
the
problem.
cubes.
Your teacher has 13 new boxes of markers.
20.
There's still 10 markers in each box. How many new markers does she have?
Thank you. Okay, let me write that down. I think we're just going to do another card. You ready? Okay. So same thing. I just want you to look at the card and see if you can figure out how many are on. Okay? How many little squares on this card?
70, 100, 130 markers.
I saw exactly how you did that.
Okay, now on the
Okay.
other cards, you also used these cubes here. Do you think you could
Just when I
use
push
these
them over to
cubes
the
here
side, now I have a
and
different
see
kind of
how many are on
problem.
the
Oh, you can
card?
leave those there.
Okay.
Just push those over so you can grab them if you want. So here's the next problem. Have you ever gotten a bag of pretzels and then wanted to bring like a little bit in your lunchbox or a little bit as a snack? That's what this problem is about. This problem is about your teacher has 30 pretzels and she wants to put the pretzels in snack bags. So there are 10 pretzels in
So
each
how many
bag.
little squares are on
How
that
many
card,
snack
Miguel?
bags can she make?
On the whole card, how many
There's-
squares?
So she has 30s and
How'd you
and
count
she
that?
wants to make each 10 in each bag, then she's only going to have 3 bags. Since 10 plus 10 is 20, and 20 plus 10 is 30.
Oh,
So then you're just going to have to break it up into only 3 bags.
That was a really nice explanation, Valerie.
Okay,
Just like with
thank
the
you.
last one, I'm gonna
wanna
give
do
you a
that way,
similar
please?
problem, but with a different number, okay? So what if your teacher, instead of having 30, what if she has 120 pretzels and she wants to put them in snack bags, so there are 10 in each?
You like
How
this?
many snack bags can she make then?
I so enjoyed working with you both yesterday and then doing a little bit more today.
So when you're doing
So bags under 10 each.
I ask you some questions about how you're thinking about the
Well, you know what?
It doesn't mean you're right or wrong, it just needs some more information about how you're thinking about it.
12 snack
You might write some things down when you're saying things too, just so I
Okay.
can remember what you're saying.
That was really nice. I saw exactly what you did.
And when you're doing the interview today, you don't have to solve all the problems if you don't
Not
want
sure?
to. If you get to a problem you don't want to do,
Let's
then
see.
I don't want to do that, you get to choose. Well, if you want to stop the interview at any time, you can do that too, Sam.
Okay, I think what we're gonna do now is we're gonna clean up this part, and then we're gonna go on to, we just have one more part. So for this next part, I'm gonna show you some
Okay, and
cards
then what happened here?
with some pictures of small squares. And let's look at the first one. So some of the squares are touching and some of the squares aren't. Can you touch 2 squares that are touching? 2 small squares, yep. Can you touch
write
two
the
small
number-
squares
that
that aren't
number on this
touching?
piece of paper for me?
How many small squares are in this one?
Perfect. So this
Yeah,
part of the number right
okay.
here.
So
does it
a
have
lot of them
anything to
have
do
them
with
kind
the
of
number
just like
cubes that you
this.
have?
And so it's nice to know. Okay.
No, nothing there.
So next I want you to tell me how many small squares are on that card.
13.
How did you know 13?
Because I already know that I just counted them, that it's 10. And then I already know that 10 plus 3 is 13. So if there's 1 10 block and 3 separate
Okay,
ones,
so
then
this part of the number over
You're a
here
really good
is-
explainer,
is
Valerie.
part of the 10,
Thank you
say?
for
And this
telling me
number over
about
here
that.
doesn't have anything to do
Okay,
with it?
here's the next one. That was kind of our warm-up card, so you understood what to do.
Okay, let's put the
How many
blue
small
up.
blocks are, how many small squares are on this card?
Will you help me put these back on the bag there?
42.
And I think I know what you did, but can you tell me how you figured it out?
So
I saw you kind of touch like this. What did you say when you did that?
So I already
And
know
what I'd like to do with the red
that
piece
this is
I want
40
you to
since there's 4 10 blocks.
put 10 in this cup and
And
10
I
in this
already
cup.
know that 40
Okay.
plus 2 1s is 42.
Thank you. Here's the next one. How many small squares are on this card?
Okay, so you have 10 in this cup.
And I saw
10 in this cup,
exactly how
and
you
some extra
counted
ones,
that
right?
one.
So how many cubes are there all together?
26.
26. And how did you count those?
How about on this card?
So these are 10 because it's 10, 20, and then you count by ones. When you have extra, you can just count by ones if it's not.
There's 22.
I see. And when you
How did
counted
you
by
figure
ones,
out 22?
Did you say 20
Because
and then
if
21,
just
22,
because
23,
this
or did you say
10
20 and then
is
1, 2,
separated
3,
into
4?
little
How did you do that?
ones doesn't mean that it's not a 10 anymore.
21.
Okay, so you
So-
thought of this part right here as a
Okay.
10?
So can you write that number on the
So
piece
all
of
of
paper
this
as
is
well?
10.
The number of cubes?
That's another 10,
Can you get
which
it down
is
there?
20.
I have another one if you want
There's
to.
2 leftovers.
Oh, you're good.
Great. That was a really nice explanation. How about with this one?
Okay, so the same question as last time. Does this part of your number have anything to do with how many cubes are here? No. And what about this? Does this part of your number have anything to do with the cubes? Tell me about that.
Because if you don't count the 10 16, if you don't count the other
33.
Oh, so you have to count the 10 to get the right answer.
So I think I saw how you were covering them up. Can you just show me what you were doing with your counting of these ones and covering up?
Since these are separated
So
and
let's do
since
this now. So
I
you
didn't
told me
want
you
to
have
get mixed
26
up,
cubes here.
the
I'm
ones that I
wondering if you can
counted, I
change it
covered
so
them
that
up.
it's just
Okay.
16.
And these, I already know that these are straight 10s, so are these. So then, since there's 2 10 sticks and
I see.
1 10 1,
So let's do
that's
that.
30.
You take these
and
away, now you
then
have 10 and
leftovers.
And these two snippets.
Got it.
take
So it's a little
a
different.
cup away.
Thank you, Valerie.
Before I call you.
Here's
So
the
now-
next one.
Now you have 16 cubes here, right? Don't you pretend
How many
that I
small
gave you
squares are on this
25
card?
cubes. How many cubes did you have then?
Okay, that's a really pretty one. When we do these math problems together, is it okay if I turn this video camera on so that?
How did you
so
get it
that if-
124.
Tell me how you figured out 124.
Because since there's 10 10s in this, then this is already 100. 100 plus 20, which is these 2 sticks, is 120. And 120 plus these 4 is 124. So it's the same thing as 24,
But where did the one come
but you're
from?
adding 100.
Oh,
I'm just gonna take this.
thanks for explaining that to me.
and
All right, so on this next card, we just have a few more
Just how you did
cards.
that. Great.
But all the next cards have schools, and I want you to still count the small squares, but the small
Okay.
squares are a
So
lot
now there's a little
smaller.
different. I have some
Okay.
You
story
can count
problems
them,
for
you can move them
How many
around.
small squares on
And
this
story
card?
problems, you can keep solving them mentally, just using your brain, like you have been. Or you can use the paper here, you can use a marker. I also have some base 10 blocks down here, and you can snap to if you wanted to use those. But you don't have to use any of them, you can choose
And
to
can you
solve
show
it
me how
however
you count? I
want,
saw you
okay?
count it. Can you count it again a little
So-
louder?
First problem.
100, 200, 300, 400, 401, 402,
It
403.
says
Thank
Your teacher
you.
has 4 new boxes of markers. There are 10 markers in each box.
Okay.
How many new markers does she have?
Just have 3 more.
Could you also
Tell me about this one. How
write
many
down
small squares are
how
on
many
this
you
card?
counted?
How many do you have 40?
Because
500
4
and-
boxes.
Wonderful.
You just add
Okay.
1 box.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle. You wrote down 35. Does this part
Awesome.
of
Just tired.
35
500
How about
and-
have
this?
anything to do
Your
with what
teacher
you
had
counted?
13 new boxes of markers. And there were still 10 in each box. How many
520.
new markers would she have?
No,
100
doesn't. Okay.
526.
What about
So you said
you
500
wrote
really
35.
quickly.
What
Can you tell me
this
about what you were
part
doing
should
over
be
there?
35?
Do you want the ones that are loose,
I
or do you
saw
want the
there
ones
was
that are
10.
together?
There was
Oh,
one
it
10
does.
here.
Okay.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 again here. And
Okay.
then I could cover these up. And then there's 6 more. So that's going to be 500 and then 20 and then I have
So you need
6
the
left.
10s, and those
Got
are
it.
10s right
Thank
there?
you. We just have 2 more.
Oh,
How many
okay.
small squares are on this card?
So there's
All right.
324.
So we're just going to push these over to the side. And
Can you tell me about what you were thinking when you were
we
counting
have
this
this
part?
back.
Okay, first I was thinking that these are kind of this. But then I re-looked at it and I
So would
looked
you
at
help
there
me
was
out? Could
1,
you
2,
put,
3, 4,
10
5 in
cubes
each
inside
group.
that cup?
And I already know that 5 plus 5 is 10. But since they're 10s, I know that 10 groups of 10 is 100. So then since I already
And
have
could you put 10 cubes
200
inside the
here and 5 10s here, that's going to be 100. So 300 and then 20 and then 4.
That was a really nice explanation, Valerie. Thank you for telling me that. Last one.
So each cup has 10
How many
cubes
small
in it,
squares are
and
on
then
this
we have
card?
these extra cubes that are right. How many cubes is this? How did you know that?
So I knew that we had 10 from here. And
So this is 220.
Maybe it's 26? Are you certain about that? Are you pretty sure it's
230.
26? You are? Okay.
Can you tell me how you figured that one out?
So this one is the same as the last one. 5 in each group, which is 100. And then I counted these 2,
Okay.
which is 10, and then I saw that there was leftovers here that made it 10. And then there was
Can you write
leftovers
down
that
on
was
this paper
4.
how many orange cubes you counted?
Valerie, you've done a great job with all these tasks. I so appreciate your telling me how you thought about all of them. We are all done.